Look, Trump obviously attacks everyone, but she's become a much bigger target, and I think part of what's going on here is that last debate. Let's be honest. Carly cut his balls off with the precision of a surgeon, and he knows it. He knows it. He's insulted and bullied his way to the top of the polls. No one was able to best him ever except for this tough lady on that stage, and it must kill him. He must be simmering about it to this night.
Welcome back to the Daily Wrap. That was Rich Lowry, editor of the conservative National Review, weighing in on how Carly Fiorina clipped Donald Trump's performance during last week's GOP debate. Turns out that Trump is apparently a bit of a prude when it comes to provocative language on TV, at least when it doesn't work in his favor. Now, to add insult to injury, Lowry's remarks attacking Trump's manhood were made on the Donald's television pet peeve of record, The Kelly Files, starring the anti-Trump Megyn Kelly. Here's what Trump had to say about it all.
Fox does not treat me fairly. Megyn Kelly. I mean, you had this loser on last night, this guy Lowry. I never even heard of him. He was so out of control. He lost control of himself. It was actually sad. He lost control of himself last night with what he said. And I guess you got to take a guy like that off the air.
But you're at war with Rich Lowry, who is the editor of National Review, which is really sort of the gold standard of conservative magazines.
I don't think anybody reads it, Joe. I think it has no power whatsoever. I'll be honest. I think it has no power whatsoever. And he's not a respected guy.
I read it,
you're the only one.
Well, he's not the only one, and Rich Lowry is very much a respected guy, but, you know, who knew that Donald was so sensitive? Are any of you guys buying Trump's distress over whatever Rich Lowry had to say? We'll start with you, Joe, because I know you've got a pretty strong point of view on this.
Yeah. Donald Trump has every right to say that he is now being treated unfairly by Fox News. Since the debate...
Did he before?
Did he before?
Yeah.
Fox treated him very fairly, I thought, particularly Kelly, who seemed to go out of her way to treat him fairly. And then on that very day, the network puts out a statement saying that Donald Trump engages in personal attacks against our hosts and anchors. It's become stale. It's immature. A whole panel called him childish. And what happens 5 hours later? Rich Lowry goes on that network and makes that statement, which you could have said in 1,000 other different ways that wouldn't have been so provocative. You called me a prude? I don't think I'm a prude. All right. I have standards, though. And news organizations, including this one, by the way, and I had a disagreement with our executive producer. We shouldn't have played that on the air. Very easily, Rich Lowry could have said, Carly Fiorina emasculated Donald Trump with the precision of a surgeon. And then it has the same effect without the effect. Exactly. That's cunning humor.
Yeah, I just think we've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. Last 2 blocks we've talked about the Pope and coming together and how we can all do that. And then every time that we talk about Trump, it's the same. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was inappropriate. It was inappropriate for the audience. It was inappropriate for the cable news channel. It may have been appropriate for a rated R movie, but I don't think it was necessary. And I think that it it doesn't move the ball forward.
Brad, I think you're right there with him.
Yeah, I think it's time to climb out of the sewer and up to the gutter. I mean, it's ridiculous. He shouldn't have said it. He's an employee of Fox, and actually Megyn Kelly, who has behaved with remarkable dignity through this, when she kind of covered her eyes and laughed, and what did you say? She failed at that moment. At that moment, she actually pandered to this whole problem and played to Trump. You don't trump Trump with those kind of bad behaviors.
You know,
and that's what they did.
What was interesting to me is Rich Lowry is a very soft-spoken, conservative kind of guy. He's not a bomb thrower as a rule. So I thought that was a bit strange.
He's a rehearsed one.
There you go. It was rehearsed. You're right.
He said it on a podcast just a couple of days before, and you could tell he was pulling a Stuart Smiley beforehand, saying in the mirror over and over again, just to make sure he had the pitch and timing down. And look, I don't mean to call out Newsmax because like we're some sort of outlier. Every single news organization was playing that clip over and over today, so we're no different than anybody else. I'm just saying, like you said, let's get out of the gutter and into the sewer.
So despite the fact that Fox News continues to distress Mr. Trump, there are once again signs that peace may be breaking out between Fox and Trump as the world took a collective breath today when the following statement was released by Fox News saying they're ready to sit down and talk next week. Now, I'm not going to read the whole statement. You can basically see it on your own. You know, speaking for myself, I don't know if I can wait until next week to find out how this soap opera is going to come to an end. Or is it possible I could be completely beyond caring at this point? Panel, Why are we and the rest of the media world allowing ourselves to be caught up in this low-budget, cheap, low-quality soap opera? Why does anybody care about this? Quickly, guys, Joe?
I'm not sure people care about it so much this time because the sequel never does as well as the original. Yeah. And I think this has been overplayed at this point. If it happens again, then we certainly absolutely don't care.
It has happened again, and we should already not care. And I'm gonna criticize us and the rest of the media. Enough of this.
I completely agree. Why do we do it? It is a soap opera. It's the right words, like watching the Kardashians, but you feel good about yourself because it's politics.
Very stupid. All right, so let us know who your pick for the 2016 nomination is by going to newsmaxpolls.com and casting your vote. Coming up next, you know about his war with Fox News, but Donald Trump has a new war going on. We'll tell you with who in a moment.